Hi there, Dave Bedini, lifelong resident of Ward 2, running in this year's election to represent us at the council table. So we're down here at the waterfront, as we have been for a lot of our videos. And we're doing a little take on the waterfront, our waterfront. As a matter of fact, we did one a couple weeks ago, and I had it posted for a little while. But as I've been knocking on doors and talking to people, I'm realizing there's a lot of misleading information bouncing around out there. And there's I had one candidate or one resident come to me and say, "Is it true that we're going to have condos built in Spencer Smith Park?" Well, of course, the answer to that is no. But that kind of just sort of gives you a sense of what's bounding about around there. So let me tell you this: our waterfront is safe, it is secure. That is our Spencer Smith Park, our Beachway Park, Sioux Lookout, and right through to Burl Oak. The public access points of this city, those are safe and secure. But I think a lot of the concern, talk, discussion is about, specifically down here, this development of the area to the east of the park, so the old Lakeshore Road area. Let's go down and have a look. Well, we're down here over on the old Lakeshore Road area. We've got Emma's back porch behind us. Now, there's a lot of talk about, should development happen in this area, that we want to maintain the village character of this area. Let me ask you something. I'm 53 years old. I've lived here all my life. And I can certainly tell you in my experience, aside from the fact this has always been private property, you realize that there's been 3 gas stations in this area, 2 motels, a Dairy Queen Tasty Freeze. This building over here was a youth group home. There has been various versions of every possible commercial entity, including law offices, real estate offices, restaurants, hairdressers, art galleries. There's been a real hodgepodge of uses in this area. So I would suggest that defining the village character of this area may be a challenge. Now, there are also those that have suggested that Burlington should be purchasing some of the properties down here. We have a land acquisition fund made for strategic purchases. Well, my question would be, well, are we going to buy all the properties, or are we going to buy some of the properties? Who's going to determine which properties we're going to buy? Keep in mind, all of this would be at market value. And what happens if we have a property that we decide that, gee, we like that property, we want to purchase that. But the owner of that property does not necessarily want to sell it. So are we advocating that we're going to expropriate the property? Again, at market value, plus legal costs. And once we go down that road, does that mean that we're just going to look in other areas of Burlington? Perhaps we need a little parkette for downtown walkabouts, around the corner of Burlington and Ontario, or something like that. We'll just expropriate the land. Is that what we're suggesting? Now, the other option that the city of Burlington has, as has been identified, is certainly in January of 2011, next year, the council can go and review and relook at rezoning this area. Keep in mind, though, that the zoning has been approved for the past 3 years. There was a freeze on it. So now, does that mean that there are 17 properties with 12 ownerships down here in this area? That has the potential of 17 challenges, 12 challenges to the existing zoning. Is that 12 trips back to the OMB? Is that another big legal battle for the next 3 years? Does that mean more legal costs to the citizens of Burlington? Either one of these options obviously is a multi-million-dollar expenditure for the city. And where is those dollars going to come from? Obviously us as taxpayers, and it's going to come out of the tax base. Now listen, we're in a situation here, we have to deal with reality, we have to deal with the situation at hand. The situation at hand is development has been approved. The vision for development has always included green space. It has always included walkable access along the lakefront. Matter of fact, more than we have now, and it has always included views of the lake. I do not buy into this theory that there's going to be a bunch of monolithic high-rises or this is going to be a concrete canyon. This is not going to be Toronto, in my opinion. Toronto made that mistake 20 years ago. I won't let that happen. Development in this area has got to be responsible and it has to be sustainable. The issues of parking and density have got to be addressed. They are two of the critical issues in terms of doing anything in this property, in this area, and that is important, and that is something that council will indeed be on. Now, I agree with a lot of people that I have the same concerns about how development got to be to the size that it has, but that's information that we will find out. More importantly, my concern has always been that these decisions were never addressed to the community. They were never told to the citizens of Burlington as to why they were made. That's a falling down of communication. We talk about it. The SHAPE report talked about it. Engage the community. Absolutely imperative. Absolutely imperative. We've got to make sure that the decisions and the business of running this community, running this city, is done in a no-nonsense and a sensible way. No hype, no hysteria. Let's take care of business of Burlington the way it should be. We've got some lovely riders going along in their bikes. This is fantastic. This is the citizens of Burlington using the community. So let me leave one thought with you. Election day is coming soon, 2 weeks away, October 25th. I encourage everybody to be an engaged resident of the city of Burlington and vote. The advanced poll is Tuesday, October the 11th, the next one. There's internet voting for the first time ever in the city of Burlington. All that information can be accessed on our website. Dave@davebedini.com is my email address. You know I want to hear from you. I know I want to talk to you. We've knocked on all the doors in Ward 2 virtually now. We've got a few more to get to. The darn rain's been keeping us away. But we'll be there if we haven't been there already. And I'll tell you, I want to hear your views. I need to know your thoughts. Let's talk. Let's keep in touch.